Welcome to this practical trading workshop explainer. Look, let's just cut right to the chase. If you've ever watched your stop loss get hit by a single pip, only for the market to immediately reverse and go exactly in your direction without you, well, you've been a victim of institutional money. But today, we're putting a stop to that. We are completely throwing out the old textbooks and looking at how to read market movements through the actual lens of institutional liquidity. This explainer is specifically designed to give you a structural, highly logical way to view price action.
So here's our roadmap for today's workshop. We'll start by defining institutional money, then contrast traditional lines with dynamic zones. After that, we'll break down the rally-based drop and drop-based rally patterns. And finally, we'll master trade execution using the first touch rule. Let's get into it.
Section 1, Institutional Money. It's all about following the footprints. Okay, our sole objective as informed traders is absolutely not to guess what the market is going to do next. Guessing is gambling, right? Instead, our goal is to track the massive footprints left behind by institutional money. Think about it. Banks, hedge funds, these massive financial institutions, they trade with so much volume that they literally cannot hide their activity on a price chart. It's like an elephant walking through mud. They are going to leave a trail. Our job is simply to find exactly where that heavy institutional money is sitting and align our own trades right alongside it.
Moving on to Section 2, Lines versus Dynamic Zones. Prepare for a total paradigm shift.
So, most of us were taught to draw a single, razor-thin horizontal line on a chart and confidently call it support or resistance. But here's the reality check. Single price lines lead to extremely poor risk management. They're incredibly brittle, and relying on them is exactly why you get whipsawed out of a trade right before it goes your way. Instead of those rigid, useless lines, we're shifting our focus to supply and demand zones. These are dynamic, thick areas of interest. Institutional money doesn't just enter at one magical to-the-penny price point. Their massive orders are scaled and spread across a zone. By viewing the market in zones, you finally give your trades the breathing room they actually need to survive all that random market noise.
Section 3, the rally-based drop pattern. This is how we identify institutional supply. The rally-based drop is a highly specific formation that acts like a flashing neon sign for institutional sellers. Let's frame this as a real-world scenario, okay? Imagine an asset is just climbing rapidly. Everyone's excited. That's your rally. But suddenly, it hits a brick wall and just stalls. This stall forms what we call a base. Now, what's actually happening inside that base? Massive institutional sell orders are quietly stepping in. They're basically absorbing all that retail buying pressure, eventually completely overwhelming the buyers, and boom, it leads to a sharp drop.
Let's run through this as a live trade case study, reading the chart step by step from left to right. Step 1, we get that aggressive upward rally. Retail traders feel the FOMO here, right? So they blindly buy the top. But then we hit step 2, the base. Price just chops sideways. This is the trap. Institutions are secretly absorbing those retail buys to build a massive short position of their own. Finally, step 3, the drop. The floor just falls out, and price moves incredibly aggressively away from that base. And listen, that aggressive drop is your absolute confirmation that the base you just spotted is a valid, high-probability institutional supply zone.
Flipping the script, Section 4, the drop-base rally pattern, identifying institutional demand. Now, the drop-base rally is the exact inverse of what we just talked about. Rather than showing us supply, this showcases a thick area where massive institutional buying interest is concentrated. Think about when you see a market tumbling down, everyone is panicking, and then suddenly, it hits a floor, goes completely sideways, and shoots upward. That is not a coincidence. That is heavy, concerted accumulation by institutions who see incredible value at that discounted price point.
Following the anatomy of this demand zone case study, the story unfolds pretty clearly. Step 1, the price drops. It looks incredibly bearish to the untrained eye. Step 2, it consolidates to form a clear base. Just like before, this sideways action is the footprint. Institutions are actively accumulating long positions and absorbing all the retail panic selling. And then, step 3, the price violently rallies upward, leaving the base in the dust. Waiting for this powerful rally completely validates the zone and protects your capital. Seriously, by waiting for this specific step, you proactively manage your risk, avoiding the absolute nightmare of catching a falling knife during that initial drop. It proves without a shadow of a doubt that massive institutional demand is anchored right inside that base.
Section 5, Execution. Trading the first touch. Spotting the money is great theory, but execution is everything. All right, here is the chronological story of a professional trade, from absolute start to finish. Period 1 is the setup. The footprint forms. We spot that rally-based drop or drop-based rally right there on the chart. Period 2, and honestly this is the hardest part for most traders, price moves away and we simply wait. We do not chase the market. Chasing ruins your risk-to-reward ratio. We just sit on our hands until period 3, when the price eventually returns to our drawn zone. That return, that is our precise moment to strike. And what about the exit? We manage our risk seamlessly by placing our stop loss safely tucked behind that thick zone, giving the trade actual room to breathe, and we target the next opposing area of liquidity to secure our profits. That right there is a full start-to-finish professional trade. And this brings us to the absolute golden rule of execution. You must limit your trades to only the first touch of a fresh zone. Why? Well, because the very first time price returns to a newly formed institutional base, there are highly likely to be massive, unfilled institutional orders just sitting there waiting to be triggered. If price visits that zone a second, third, or fourth time, those orders get chewed up and depleted, and the zone becomes incredibly weak. By strictly trading the first touch, you're basically stacking the probabilities heavily in your favor, tightly managing your risk, and only taking the absolute highest quality setups. So, as we wrap up this practical explainer workshop, you've got a choice to make. Are you going to keep drawing thin, rigid lines and constantly acting as liquidity for the big banks? Or are you ready to track institutional money, patiently wait for dynamic zones to form, and finally trade alongside the heavy hitters? The massive footprints are sitting right there on the chart. The only question is, are you finally ready to follow them?